So how to make discussion board post and how to get a really good grade doing it, right? That's what you want to do. You want to get a really good grade. The most important thing with discussion board post or with everything that you're going to do is don't wait to the last minute. Because if you wait to the last minute, you know, it's going to be shitty. You're not going to be able to do a good job if you wait to the last minute. So you need to answer the question for yourself before school starts. You guys are taking, a lot of you are taking Dr. Harrison's class. Figure out how you're going to keep track of your due dates. If you got a paper planner, if you got a planner on your computer, I use my phone calendar for everything. So when I lay in bed in the morning, I pull up my phone calendar and it tells me everything I have to do that day, and put the due dates. But you don't want to just put the due date for your discussion board post in your camera. You want to put 3 or 4 days before the due date, do the discussion board post. Because if you just have the due date, the discussion board post is due today, and then you see it today and you're like, oh, I got to do it today, put it 2 or 3 days before it's due, do discussion board post. Because if you put everything for the due date, then you're always going to be behind. So you guys should all have Microsoft Word. If you don't have Microsoft Word, you can get it from the library. Lisa can help you, or anybody can help you. You should have Microsoft Word on your computer, because what you want to do is write it in I'll show you how to do this. Write it in Microsoft Word, and then cut and paste it into the discussion board post. Like I said, if you're going to do it on your phone, enable the auto correction. Make every post. I know this sounds awful. I caught my son direct messaging when he was like, he's old now, but when he was in like 7th grade, he was sexting or something with a friend. He was like doing that stuff that you guys don't know it because you're too old, but he was doing that direct messaging before we had all the stuff we have now. So I found a way to get in there. I went in there and I printed out every post that he'd made, and I taped it all around the bathroom walls in our house. And that was a good way for him to understand that everything that he puts out there on the internet, be willing for everyone to see it, because sooner or later, anybody can see that. So I'm not saying that you're going to write sexting posts for your discussion board, but what you want to do is think that everybody you know could see this post. So have that kind of pride about it. Post in a way that you could say, hey, this is my post, and you could put it up on the wall and you would feel good about it. You know, that's what you want to do with everything that you do, is have pride in what you do. And ask lots and 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 lots of questions. I have a student who emails me every other day this summer with a question, and she's kind of a pain in my ass, but I also love her because she asks questions. She asks questions. She asks questions. Let me see. Oopsie, I can do this. So if you have to use the technology of doing a discussion board post, practice before you do it. So your all's generation, I'm a famous clicker, like click and click and click and click. You can't break the website. You can't break the discussion board post. Really get in the habit of trying things out over and over and over again so that you can see if it's going to work. Don't wait till it's due to try it out. Try it out ahead of time. Figure out how to add a picture or a graph to your discussion board post. It makes it look snazzy, even if it's not required. Sometimes it's good to make it look snazzy. If you see a peer who's posted something and you think it looks really nice the way they posted, you know, comment on their post. Your post looks really nice. How did you get it to look like that? Right? Try to read your post out loud to a friend. Do I have one more? Yep. So edit. I'm not a terrible writer anymore. I used to be a terrible writer. And what I learned is I have to read it out loud to somebody else usually. I have a dear friend, as a colleague at our school, John Pepys, and I sent out an email years ago when I first got there, and I didn't know what I was doing. I attached to everybody. He walked down to my office and he said, Sarah, don't ever send out an email to everybody until you've let me read it. So I don't do that now, but for quite a long time, I would let him proofread my emails because I'm not a great writer before I would send them out to people. So read it to a family member, read it to a friend and say, does this make sense to you? And again, keep taking a lot of pride. The only way that I learned how to write a good paper was to write a really bad one first. I used to be so terrified of writing that I couldn't even start. So then I learned to just write a really bad one and then edit it, go over it many times. But I couldn't learn to do that until I learned to write a bad one. So I'm going to show you real quick. If you have your computer there, go ahead. Do you guys know how to get into MyWarren? Do you guys all know how to get to MyWarren? If you know how to get to MyWarren, go ahead and get to MyWarren then. Right here, MyWarren. Now, once you've gotten on MyWarren, can you put into the chat box that you've been able to get into MyWarren?
2 people.
Okay, so for all the rest of you, when you get into MyWarren, you will see, I don't know what it looks like for you, but I think it's going to say over here on the left-hand side, it's going to say My Groups. If you click on My Groups, you will see EOF. Is that correct, Tiffany? Is that the way you're going to have them access it?
Yes.
Okay. So when you go to My Groups, you'll see dun, 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 lots and lots and lots of information, Tiffany. I don't want you to read that. I want you to go over here to the discussion tab and click on the discussion tab. And then you're going to go to down here, you're going to see EOF Summer Scholars discussion question 1, week 1. I don't want you to answer this question fully. You're going to have to come back and do that, but just click on that. And you see that your first assignment for the week is to write a paragraph introducing yourself, share what your hopes and dreams are for learning. You can read all that. And then you're going to hit, not under topics, but under here, you're going to hit add a post. And when you click add a post, you'll see here is where you're supposed to add your post. And so very carefully, without making any spelling mistakes, what I would tell you is open up your Word document, not for this right now, but in general, open up a Word document and write your discussion board answer here, and then cut and paste. I am so excited, and I just can't hide it. All right, that's my post. That's kind of small, so assume that a lot of people in this class can't see like me. So you're going to point up your font to a font that looks readable. Do you see how there's that squiggly blue thing there? I'm going to right click on that, and it's going to say cannot. And I'm going to lowercase this one, and you'll see that little squiggle. So your documents should be squiggle free. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to go back to the discussion post, and I'm going to paste it. And it says remove formatting or keep formatting. I'm going to keep formatting. I look at it again. It looks really beautiful. And then I'm going to hit submit. I want all of you guys to do that, to write one sentence. This is not your assignment. This is practice.
And Sarah, it looks like you need a subject. Yeah, yep, there you go.
So I said it did it for me when I made a mistake. Subject required. Hi there, I wrote. And now I'm going to submit. So there's my post. Look at that beautiful big font. I love my beautiful big font.
I have a question.
Yep.
When we're doing like anything with the discussion boards, should we always use MLA format or no?
Every instructor is going to have different requirements. So like my discussion boards for my classes, I simply do, you can't copy from the book. It has to be in readable sentences. All grammar and punctuation must be used. Everybody's going to have a different take on that. Great. Do you see how right here it says 10 words? Most discussion posts have a word criterion. So my post in my class have 50 words is the minimum you can have for a response, and 150 words for a post. So you want to look at that. So I'm going to go to the discussion board, and I'm going to hit my refresh up here. And I'm going to go to unread posts and replies. Oh, not my discussion board, in my groups. It's not my discussion board. It's my group. Sorry. I'm going to go to EOF. I'm going to go to my discussion board. Now, I want everybody to post 1 sentence posts. For those of you who did get in, if you go back now to the discussion board, like I am, the ones that you haven't read are going to be green. So what I always do, Lisa, do you know this? I'm not in my student view. Do you know if they have this tab that says unread posts and replies?
I'm actually not sure because I never see the student view. Let me go in
Yes,
myself.
Yes, we do.
You do?
Okay, there you go.
So that's what you're always going to, that's what I always click on when I log in. So I see that there's 8 unread posts and reviews. So you guys, if I click on one, hi, the weather is very nice today. Awesome. You're going to see that you are going to have to reply. That's always going to be one of the things you have to do. So once you see the post you want to reply on, you hit reply. And then you reply and you say, I love the sun. Whatever, right? And then you're going to hit submit. So you guys are all going to have to make an original post, and you're going to have to make replies. Every online class is required to have a discussion board, and that is the way that your instructor will take roll. So most discussion boards have 2 due dates, the post by and then the comment by. Anybody have a question? Is everybody able to get in here and figure out how to make these posts? I just want to show you real quickly what it's going to look like when it's a course. The way that Tiffany set this up, this is a group. You're not going to have any more groups. You're only going to have courses.
Correct.
So here's the course that I'm teaching right now. I'll just show you what it looks like. Here's the course that I'm teaching right now. Over here, you see all the resources. And for my discussion group, you go to the discussion board, go down to this week, which is week 7. I have all my weeks in here. You guys don't have to do this. I just want to show you what it's going to look like. Get down there. I have it. So every week we have a discussion board. So I have my instructions there. I have everything that you have to do. When they click on it, they're going to add a post. And I have somewhere else where they got to get the instructions. These kind of big posts are the ones that you're going to have to cut and paste from Word.
Well, thank you so much. If there are no questions, we will break for lunch. We can give Sarah a round of applause. Woo-hoo. Thank you so much.